Hi, everyone. Welcome. This is a lecture only, and the topic today is going to be dynamic transitional techniques for functional movement. So, we have a flowing sequence here to help you in your everyday life. That is what the purpose is, to better your mobility. So, in this instructional video, you are going to learn how to make transitions that typically you may do every day. Learn how to do them with thought and awareness for the sake of risk of injury. Learn those safe techniques. Learn how to make them fold and mold and transition your bodily position. For instance, from floor to stand. How do you do that? What does that look like? Does that hurt your joints? You could be doing things wrong. So, overall mobility is what we are after here, and that is why we train the way we do, because it's all about the core. And so, our workouts will have pieces and variations of this big movement flow in which I'm about to show you. And then this way you're able to develop your core strength to enable you to do that transition. Okay, so the flowing sequence, I'm calling it the PSP lunge is one, the lunging sequence, and then the PSP mountain sequence. So we're going to start with the lunge sequence. PSP, what would that mean? So this is in relation to your bodily position. So prone position where you're flat on the floor, face down. So you're laying on your belly. S for supine, that's laying on your back. So we transition from flat on your belly on the floor, maybe, yes, definitely on the floor. Now, I was going to say in bed or couch, that won't work. Definitely on the floor. So how do we get up when we're laying on our bellies and then roll onto the supine position and then back into the prone position so that we can then get from the floor up onto our onto our feet. And that first sequence, the lunge sequence, that's going to be a little bit more requiring balance, which is something that we have to train, and the stabilizing muscles that lead to that. And then we reverse back out of it. So we're going to go through that slow, and then once you understand it, once you get better transitionally and moving, and your core is better and you're more limber because of the stretching that goes into this program, then it will be more flowing. But at first, it's like an 8 to 10 part breakdown, and we'll go slow through that. Okay, and then after that, we'll move into the next PSP mountain sequence, which is basically getting you from your belly onto your feet to a tall stance. So how do we do that? What does that look like? Okay, because sometimes people who do not work out, or they do work out, but they're only training one component, such as the strength or just stretching. No, you need both, okay? And it's body weight. So this is going to help you do this, because people often get hurt and pull things just by doing simple daily movement. So that is the purpose of this instructional video tonight. So this is what it looks like. I want you to watch first and listen to the cues, and then you can try it with me. So here's the P for prone. I'm laying on the floor. I'm going to stretch out here just to incorporate that stretch, but my gaze is down. So if I'm here and I want to get over and up, I'm going to show you a way to engage your core. So let's go from P to S, which is supine. I'm going to lift up this back leg, cross it over. Now, if there's no hip mobility, you're going to get stuck, right? But if there's a lot of hip mobility, you may touch the foot to the floor. But if not, it's okay. You roll with it. And now you're supine. So straighten out that leg, bend the other leg. Now we have to get up to a seated position. How do we do that? If you cannot roll up because your core strength is not there, then you help yourself up by lifting and trying to think about peeling one disc up off the floor at a time. So you're transitionally now into this almost sideline position. Take this top leg, cross it over. Now use your hands to help you. And also use this front foot, the anchor foot, I'm calling it. And we're going to put that body weight into it so we can do this turning table twist around. And now we are back to prone. So this is a hovering prone here with body weight. From here, kneel. From here, you laterally crawl and step your hands over to the side so that you can lift up this leg, and now your legs are parallel. So before you do anything else, let's square off to the parallel. Keeping your spine lifted, although we're hinged at the hip. This is 90 degree at your knee, and your back toes are dug into the floor. From here, balancing. Lift the back knee up. Come up out of that. Now, extend back through the spine here. See this balancing lunge? That does take a lot of core strength, and it is balancing because you're in a narrow stance. From here, you could stay here or go for more balance by straightening out that front leg and hinging forward. Lots of balance. Find something to stare at. So that is an option. Otherwise, this might be quite enough. Let's reverse out of it now. High lunge here. Bend your bottom knee. Take the hand over to the instep of this front foot. And then swivel it around right back where you came from. And with that comes in the hip dropping down to the ground. And you're right back to this supine position. In which case, we're going to switch out those legs. Other one is bent. And we either push yourself to roll here or use your core to roll you. And we're right back into the position again. Okay, so now let's do it together. So here, reaching stretch, lower, lift the back leg, bring it over so you can roll. Now, bend the other leg. Let's get up from supine position. Now we're seated. Now we flip this leg over top. Use the hand, use the foot to lift the back knee up and then dig the foot down so you don't twist your knees. Come into this little crawl hovering stance and then drop the knees down. Walk your hands over so you can bring that back leg up. Now square off. Balance is here. You're down here in a kneeling lunge, pressing the heel to the floor, coming up to a high lunge. Maybe lifting the arms up, try to work on balance. A variation could look like this. But balance matters. There's many variations we can do. All right, let's try it again. Reverse out of it, bring it down. Cross the hands to the instep. Bring the front foot back. Lift this bottom knee up. Then sit on the floor and roll back or help yourself back. And then roll back to right where we started. Let's try it again. Okay, takes practice. Here we go. We're still on the same side. Lift for the stretch. Roll or kick that leg over to help you. And then switch the bent leg. Help yourself up or roll up. So that's twisted seated position. Lift the foot. Push the hands to the floor. And the heel is pressing the floor so you can lift up the back knee. Dig the toes downward for your hover. Kneel. Bring that foot around, crawling the hands here, and then come back to straddle the foot with the hands. And then press the front heel and body weight, lift it up, come up to a tall, nice high lunge. This might be enough for you, otherwise try your variations. And come back down, so we have one more. Bringing it down. I kind of move into this side position here. Lift up this bottom knee. So you can sit the hip back down on the floor and rolling it back. and then rolling over. So you can use the foot to help you roll or use your core. And we're right back to square one. Everyone together? Good. Now, we're going to do the second sequential flow, which is the prone, supine, prone, mountain sequence. So this, I feel like, really is helpful for me to get up off the floor quickly, very quickly, and it should be easy movements throughout the course of your day. Just because you get older doesn't mean that you lose it. If you don't use it, you lose it. So here is a way not to lose it. Lifting, rolling. Switch out the legs. Starts off the same. Bring it up to the top. Cross this leg over. And we swivel back around, lifting up the bottom leg not to tear the knee. We're coming into this now. This is like a, you can put your knees on the floor if you want, but it's kind of like a rocking child's pose. So my knees are up, and I just kind of do this movement, shifting forward and back. I am going to gently float my feet to the top. So it's like a wide, low squat. My legs assist my back because my arms are resting on my thighs. From here, engage your glutes, brace your abs. Push your hips forward, you're in a stand. You step together, and there is the mountain. So, try it again. We step out of it, we're coming down. Reversing right back out. Now, this is going to take flexibility here, so don't get discouraged if you don't have it yet. Just stick with the workouts. And now we're here. So from here, what are we going to do? We could either float back to where we came from, or you can step back to where you came from. Lower your knees. Flip this leg up. Lift the bottom knee up. Bring it right on through. Roll back. And now I just want to show you what this is going to look like for everyday movement, because I do this and I love the way it feels. And I'm like, yay, I can still move. And I love that feeling, right? So I'm going to show you first. And this is going to be your goal, to eventually get to here. So I'm here. I'm going to roll over. I'm going to lift up. I flip it over into this hover. Hop, up, down, back, lower, roll back, roll over, and back. I'm going again. I'm just going to do it real fluidly here. It's done in like 2 seconds, but it takes time. Okay, so that is the movement. And then if you practice this, you will be able to move more fluidly. Okay, if you do the workouts also, you gain that flexibility, that free range around your joints that will enable you, that will allow you to do this. If you do not do the workouts and you do not do the flexibility component, it's not a realistic goal to have. Okay, but what does this equate to in longevity? You're able to always get up off of the floor. They have said in research studies, the ability to get up off the floor actually can determine longevity. So let's look at that as the main topic, purpose of anything we do when we come together, and why the workouts are the way they are. And that's why the CardiYO is in this title, because as you can tell, you know, my breathing rate is up as a result of that, because I fluidly moved through it. Everything was engaged at the whole same time, which is the way your body moves. So nothing is isolated there. Your body works as a whole, as a unit. I've broken down the parts for you to give you the good cues and tips. Okay, so you don't hurt anything and you go slow enough. So please go slow enough through this. Understand what the big picture is. Getting up off of the floor when you're laying on your belly. Plus you'd be developing your core strength. So who doesn't want that? And then lowering yourself down to the floor in reversal. So you have 2 variations. SPS lunge stance and SPS mountain. Okay, it's your choice whether you want to put the power components to them. Athletes may want to. Otherwise, you just step it together and step it back, and that is it. But these are great choose techniques that will totally help you. Okay, so I hope you let me know what your thoughts are, how this felt. I'm very, very curious to know where everyone is at this point in time. All right, bye.